இது பிடிங்க. இது அடியில் ஒயர் இருக்கான்னு தெரியல, பார்ப்போம்.
இல்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
இருக்கா? அப்போ மூவ் பண்ண முடியாது. நான் கேட்குறேன், கேட்டுட்டு ஏன்னா இது மறைக்கிற மாதிரி
கொஞ்சம் தள்ள முடியுமான்னு பார்ப்போம். தூக்குறேன், கீழே வயர் எவ்வளோ இருக்குன்னு பாருங்க.
வருது அவ்வளோதான்.
அவ்வளோதான். இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் கூட தள்ளலாம். யா போட்டு யா
அது ஸ்பீக்கர்
Check one. Check one, check one.
Hello. Check, check. Hello. Hello. So, we're going to start the speeches in a minute. I know there are a lot of people waiting. We want to, because we have the services going to start soon. So, unless we start the speeches now, we're going to run out of time. So, I'm going to call Hannah to start the speeches. And if you could, keep the chatter a little lower, we'd really appreciate that. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And on behalf of all of Ankita's friends and Syracuse family, thank you to Latha and Arul and Nikki and her whole family for having us here today. My name is Hannah Butler, and I am the #1 fan of the Varman family. Ankita's freshman year neighbor at Syracuse. A 3-year roommate in NYC and lifelong friend. I first met Keats on the day before our first day of freshman year at Syracuse. I was standing in the Carrier Dome during a special event held for the freshmen on the eve of our first day. I was in the middle of a mob of first years, all scared for what's ahead and trying to follow along and learning the words to our fight song and our alma mater, when I felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned around to Ankita, a stranger to me, smiling as she shouted, "Hi, do you see my roommate? She's short, like me." Those were the first words she said to me. Alas, I did not find her roommate amongst the sea of screaming teenagers, but I did find my best friend. For the next 4 years, Keats and I were inseparable. Imagine my joy the night of our first meeting when I discovered my new best friend lived right next door to me in Sadler Hall. In the days, weeks, and eventual 4 years at Syracuse to follow, our friend group grew, it shrunk, and it changed. But Keats was my constant from day one. A pillar of love, light, and friendship every moment of each day. As I think about Keats and everything she is to me, I'm choosing to share my memories with you today in the present tense. And I promise this isn't denial or lack of clarity for why we're here. But it's because there is no way that a life, a soul, and a friend as special as Ankita Varman could ever go away. Keats is and will continue to be alive and present in all parts of my life. From the small moments where I'm eating Taco Bell on my living room floor, which is something we did a lot, to the big moments we have talked about in length, like my wedding or the birth of my kids. So with this in mind, I want to share my favorite things that Ankita is and will continue to be through everyone here that is so blessed to be touched by her joy. Number 1, Keats is a ray of sunshine. There is something that is clear to everyone the moment they meet her. Not only does she add light to everybody's day just by being herself, but she challenges you to look at life in a different way. This can best be described by how she would always declare she could smell the sunshine, as Keats, Shruti, and I walked to our 8 a.m. Com 100 class every Monday morning during our first semester. Most people would say they could see or even feel the sunshine, but Keats can smell it. And it's that approach to life with a slightly different, rosier lens that I will continue to carry throughout my life. Number 2, Keats is a uniquely caring friend. Whether in moments of exceptional joy or immense sadness, Keats is who I call to laugh with, cry with, binge watch shows with, or sit in silence with. Her day is clouded, if yours is too, and she won't stop until she makes it right for the people that she loves. Our first year living in NYC, I had a dream, and let me repeat that, a dream, where Keats was mean to me. Clearly riled by this betrayal from my best friend, I told her how unhappy I was with Dream Keats and how she had treated me. When I got home from work that day, an apology gift and a handwritten note reading, "Sorry that Dream Keats was such a bitch," were waiting on my desk. She wouldn't let the day end without righting her fake wrongs and without putting a smile back on my face. Number 3, Keats is a total dork. I know everyone here has their own stories to share for this particular personality pillar, but a standout memory amongst the sea of mine brings us to the start of COVID-19. In March of 2020, both Ankita and I quarantined in our New York City 6th floor walk-up, far longer than we should have ever stayed in the city. But to no surprise, we were hopeful, and we figured this thing would pass in a matter of days. During our 3 weeks exiled in our tiny apartment, we recreated music videos, choreographed dances that we then forced our friends to replicate, and watched far too much reality television. I watch back our creations from this time and see our friendship immortalized in goofiness, love, and laughter. And there's no 3 better words to describe her with. Number 4, Keats is an infectious personality. She is one of those people who makes you feel like the only person in the world when you have a conversation with her. She makes you feel important, like you matter, and like you are uniquely special to her with every interaction. This trait is clear by how she makes friends in minutes, whether on the quad at Syracuse or in a random bar in NYC. There are extroverts, myself included, but then there is Keats. And I know that my own life is distinctly more fruitful and full of love because of the people, many here today, that she brought into it. Beyond just these 4 pillars, we all know Ankita to be so much more. She remains the most driven person I know, exceptionally determined in what she sets out to accomplish, and the kind of person who leaves you better than how she found you before. Being chosen by Ankita as a friend and a soulmate has and will continue to be the greatest honor of my life. And she will be there each moment of every day to come that I choose to wake up and smell the sunshine.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I was also one of Ankita's former roommates and best friends. I'd like to start with a disclaimer. I called Keats my favorite short person. She called me her beanstalk. So much of our day-to-day conversations consisted of me making short jokes and her playfully trying to fight me while also occasionally making tall jokes, which, sorry Keats, they fell short. This is my last chance, so forgive me if I try and sneak a few more in while I tell you about how much I loved her. In our first class ever at Syracuse, we had to do the dreaded introduction ritual of sharing fun facts about ourselves. I don't remember who went first, but we both had the same one. I have a twin who goes to Boston University. The friendship was immediate. It took a few years for our twins to meet, but we were on cloud 9 whenever the 4 of us got to be together. Nikki, I hope you don't mind if Mike and I continue to spam our fan club for every dog ever group chat. And you'd better believe that your 2 favorite Patriots fans will continue to set reminders to bother you every 3/28 Atlanta Falcons Day. We love you so much. So many of my favorite college memories involve Keats, seeing her come down the promenade in that iconic pink raincoat, getting to experience Florence through her eyes. The buildings just looked a lot taller. and spending so much time together along with Hannah and Kira at our jobs in the admissions office that everyone thought we were roommates. But the best thing that we ever did together was make that fantasy a reality. I moved in with Keats and Hannah to their 6th floor walk-up in New York City in August 2020. We were in the middle of a global pandemic. I felt trapped in a job I hated, and my self-confidence was at an all-time low. It should have been a miserable season of my life, but it wasn't, because I got to spend every day with the most joyous, effervescent human with a heart so big that I don't know how it fit inside someone so small. She immediately got to work educating me on the hidden gems of the Disney Channel original movie library and introducing me to all the best fast food chains I had never bothered to try, Taco Bell is now a permanent fixture in my life, and she is solely responsible. We'd gather up our friends and picnic in Central Park until they kicked us out, and then we'd migrate to the Met Steps to finish our drinks and stare at the stars. She and Emily Skian even ran through the Met Fountain one night, and a tradition in our friend group was immediately born. I finally did it this year the night before I moved away. I think I forgot to tell her. I really wish I had told her. On the nights that the world felt the darkest, we'd sit on the living room floor and eat all the most delicious junk food and sing along to High School Musical or crack ourselves up trying to imitate silly TikTok trends, which she always knew about long before I did. I'll never forget the day that I heard her call me from her room. "Hey, Meg, why did your dad just show up on my For You page?" She lifted me up every chance she got. She gave the best hugs. She told me I was beautiful and deserving of good things, even when I didn't believe it. I know she did that for every person here, and every kind word she ever spoke meant so much because you could tell how fiercely she believed it. Her love was boundless. She could turn any stranger off the street into a friend within minutes. I know. I watched her do it on multiple occasions. And I hope that wherever she is, she can feel all of that love and then some in this room coming back to her. In one of our last exchanges, she sent me a meme. It was a photo of a pair of jeans with a large loop on the back big enough to grab onto. The caption said that the loop was there so that your short friend can grab you when there are a lot of people and not get lost. She told me to get these if you're going to keep making jokes. I dare you. The night that I heard the news, I realized the craziest thing. She needs to get a pair now, because from her new vantage point, I am the short one. Keats, I love you to the moon and back. I'll never stop. Sleep tight.
Hi. Also one of Ankita's former roommates and best friends from Syracuse. Thank you. I'm on her level. But I'm Liz, or as Ankita called me since we met freshman year at college, Lizbeth. Sometimes it was in a sweet, sing-songy voice when she was lifting me up on a rough day. More often than not, it was a sassy Lizbeth for bantering at her expense before she shot a joke back at me. But the sass was always followed up by her absolutely contagious laugh, which lit up any room that she was in. If you were near, that laugh alone would announce her presence and instantly make you feel warm inside. If you were far, all you had to do was catch a flash of that hot pink raincoat across the Syracuse quad to know that Ankita was over there smiling and talking a mile a minute, even if you couldn't see her face. She just bubbled over with energy that was magnetic and larger than life. She's known for knowing everybody. 90% of the time I would mention my best friend to someone and they heard Ankita's name, they would launch into a story of where they knew her from. Orange seeds, the dining hall, dance class, the bus. And that didn't stop once we got to NYC. She's the kind of person who can open anyone up to a conversation, and not just that, but pull people together. A group of us played a game for a couple of years, Dungeons and Dragons, that involved characters we came up with going on adventures. We called our party Thea and Friends. Guess who Thea was? Yes, Keats. Speaking of adventures, we loved talking about traveling and imagining the places we'd go, and we did make it happen from the Jersey Shore to Italy. But one of my favorite things about spending time with Ankita was that she had a way of finding beauty in everything. The first time we stayed in a hotel together, we threw open the curtains, super excited to see our inevitably stellar sight of the river nearby. In reality, we were actually facing a gigantic parking garage. We couldn't stop laughing about it, and Ankita started a very convincing list of why our view was still the best thing ever. We were getting an authentic urban experience. The geometry of the concrete had artistic charm. We could possibly witness a car chase like in an action movie. It was ridiculous, but she made it feel like we were the luckiest people in the world. After that, it became a thing when one of us had an uninspiring view out the window to text over a picture with starry-eyed emojis like it was a sunset skyline. I'm happy to report that on our trip to Savannah last year, we were able to relive the magic of laughing together at our gorgeous garage view. That was being friends with Ankita, though, making even the most mundane moments feel special, turning disappointments into inside jokes, and her reminding you that joy can be found anywhere if you're looking for it. Even as a Mets fan, which I turned her into during her time in NYC. And I'm sure there are some Braves fans here, but you cannot hold a candle to our spunk, sorry. In the moments that weren't all laughter, Ankita gave the best hugs, whether it was you who needed it or her. Another nickname she had for me was the cactus, because she loved hugs like every 5 minutes, and I would initially push her off. But she wore me down, and at this point, I would give pretty much anything to have one more hug from her. But she had a way of knowing when words weren't enough, when what you really needed was to be wrapped up in love to feel better. We talked about how sometimes the way is windy, but no matter where life took her, everything she did with passion and humor and so much heart. To be lucky enough to know Ankita was to love her and to be loved by her. And that doesn't end. We will always carry that with us. Her love was a gift she gave freely. That brings me to a running joke with our friends that she walked into time and again whenever the topic of gifts came up. She told us that when she and Nikki were little, there was a cardboard box big enough for the both of them to fit in that they excitedly jumped into and wrapped themselves up in with a little help. They waited for their mom to see, and when she did and was playing along, wondering out loud what her present was while they giggled in the box, they eventually jumped out and said, "Mommy, where's your present?" And while we made fun of her for it, asking her if she was our gift for National Short Person Day or for when we accomplished something, she really was a gift to us all. Her impact on all of us is undeniable, and the people here today are not even a fraction of who Ankita has touched and the lives she brightened by turning someone's day around with something as small as a smile. One of our favorite book series was Harry Potter, and we were both big fans of Sirius Black. As he says to Harry, the ones who love us never really leave us. Yesterday morning on a walk, out of nowhere, a hummingbird zoomed right up to me and hovered in front of me before it sat down on the closest flower. And it was impossible not to think of Ankita, also tiny and vibrant, dashing around everywhere, bringing joy with her. I will always hear her laughter in my head and remember her hugs when I feel alone. Ankita and I used to knock in Morse code on the wall between our rooms in college. So sending out to the universe in Morse code, a big I love you. Thank you for everything, Keats.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. As Ankita favorably calls me, Shanti Atta, she doesn't say the last syllable. I'm going to miss her calling me again. My name is Shanti Murugadas, and when I came back from India last night, and Nikita asked me, Shanti Atta, would you speak for our family? I didn't prepare for this. I'm going to speak my heart out. So, me and my husband were one of the few people who knew Anki and Nikki when they were in Lata's womb. We would, it was the first time ever I heard, somebody I was able to witness carrying a twins. And we were all excited for their birth. And Ankita came first, and she was a healthy baby. With Nikita, she had to stay in the hospital. It was heartbreaking to leave one child at the hospital and go.
So can you go to that mic and speak, because we are kind of increased. Go to that mic in the middle of the audio. Just go to the, yeah.
Hello. Yes. So it was a struggle for Lata to have one child at home and have Nikki in the hospital. But somehow we managed to raise both kids. We had many trips together. All our friends, were young couples, and these two, Anki and Nikki, were our first kids we all got to raise. And it's, I know this was not intended, but the Almighty has decided to take her to a better place. And we should I don't know, I am still not in acceptance, but the reality is, yes, she has gone to a better place. She has, when I remember Anki, she always had a big smile and a twinkling eyes. Her eyes can, like, I noticed all her friends, that she could make friends with everyone. That is true because of her eyes. I think she connected with people, with so many of them. And I think today we should celebrate her life. And Lata and Arul, I know it's a big loss, but we are here to support and show love. And I'm sure Ankita, well, if she was here, she would want everyone to have a big smile. And I think we should, shower our loves. And always we will have, Lata and Arul, you will have our family and our community's support to get through this difficult time. Thank you. I request any friends or family members, if you wanted to speak a few words about Ankita, I invite them to come and say a few words.
Hi, everyone. My name is Opshri, and I had the pleasure of calling Ankita Akka, which means older sister. My friend Shri and I, or I could say cousin because we're so close, since childhood, we viewed Anki and Nikki Akka as celebrity status. When we were little, we would pretend to be them, which sounds a little weird, but it's true. Shri would call herself Nikki Akka, and I had the pleasure of calling myself Anki Akka. And throughout my entire life, I've modeled my entire personality and behavior after her, and I had such a huge role model to look up to. I mean, when you talked to her, she made you feel like you were the only person in the entire room. When, I mean, just looking at her like brought everyone so much joy, and she was so like driven and happy, and I mean, what better role model could you have? And I know all of my family over here can relate to the fact that she was one of the greatest role models that any of us could have ever asked for. And we're just so lucky to have ever gotten to know her. I mean, whether we're old, whether we're young, I know every single person in this room considers her to be like celebrity status, the way me and Shri thought of her. So I just want to say that Lata and Baba Mama, we love you a lot, and we're here for you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm going to try my best to speak without breaking down. I'm deeply saddened by the loss of our dear Anki, a child and a student that made me feel special as a teacher and a person. She would always call me Savita Atte, and she was the first student who did so, Anki and Nikki both. That made me feel so special. And I never envisioned that I would be speaking at an occasion like this about Anki. The first time I met Anki and Nikki, they were, I think, 3 years old at Radhika Valmiki's house. And such cute little children, they stole my heart. And I remember how the mom used to have a tough time feeding them, and that's what she was doing. And they would, keep food in their mouth for hours together. And she would say, Munga, Munga. And a few years later, they started training in dance with me, and every class was so beautiful having them there. And the bonding that they created with all their friends over there, the Omega 5, and such beautiful memories from all the performances. And when I think of Anki, it's the smile. All her friends have been speaking about that. Everybody in this room knows the beautiful smile, both Anki and Nikki, ever smiling. And that's why it was hard for me to see her this way. And more than students, they've been a great part of my family. They've been there for every milestone in my life, right from the birth of my child to my baby shower, everything they've been there. Lata and Arul, you've been there for me, for everything. I love you so much. From an old performance, I remember, that was Anki and Nikki's first performance. This child, there was a dancer right in front of her dancing. Her veil came off. And we were all so worried that, somebody would trip on it. Anki was right behind her. And She had such a presence of mind. She navigated herself around that without tripping. And once the performance was over, we heaved a big sigh of relief that how she used her presence of mind to navigate through that. And I know that she's going to be there in my memory forever. She's so special. And Lata, Arul, Nikki, I pray to Bhagavan for all the strength that he can give you to bear with this loss, and we're all there for you, okay? And God bless my child. She's in a definitely in a better place, and until we meet later, Anki, God bless.
Hello, my name is Jamal Greer, and these are I met Ankita and Nikita when they were seniors in high school, coming to interview for the Posse Foundation Scholarship, and I will never forget, like everybody said, the smiles, right? And so Ankita was always the bright spot in the room. Those who work with students know sometimes it can be trying days. People can come in after school and not be in the mood to interact and have to come to a meeting for 2 hours, but Ankita came in there every Monday with that same smile, every Monday with that same energy. When I saw her on campus in Syracuse, same thing. She was always so happy. No matter how my day was going, if I knew I had my one-on with Ankita, I knew I was going to have some energy and be in a good mood. And so on behalf of the Posse Foundation, your Posse Atlanta family, Nikita, we're here for you. Deborah Bills, the founder, sends her condolences, and her entire posse wanted to be here today, but they told me to tell you they love you, they love Ankita forever, and we're always here for you whatever you need us.
So many people have said this today, but Ankita really had an ability to make you feel like you were the most special person in the world, and whatever you were saying to her was the most important thing she had ever heard. She called me this past summer when she was about to start a new job, and she was anxious about the job, and we started the call talking about her anxieties and how everything will be okay, but in true Keats fashion, somehow we ended the call with me monologuing to her about what Damon's dreams meant in season 2 of House of the Dragon. And she listened to me so rapt, being like, yes, you're so right. And all of my analysis was so on point. And she really, really made me feel special. She had the best laugh in the world and would laugh at the smallest, silliest things. She thought sneezing was hilarious. If anyone ever sneezed, she would smile and she would start laughing in the room, even had no context as to why she was laughing. She would laugh at the way that I would walk down the stairs and to the way I still smile and think about her anytime I go downstairs. I have 3 biological sisters, but Keats was always kind of the 5th Marathe sister. She lived with us the summer after college graduation, and she filled our house with so much joy. I feel lucky to have known her and to have loved her and to have all of the countless reasons to smile going forward every time I walk down the stairs or see someone sneeze.
Good afternoon. My name is Keandre Dunham, and I had the pleasure of about a month ago getting to meet Ankita as she went through the hiring process at the Department of Community Health. And she became my first hire as a supervisor. She was going to be our engagement and performance specialist, and one of the reasons why we wanted to have Ankita come on board is because she had such an engaging spirit. Everything that you all have said today was what we experienced through her interview process and her first few days on the job. And so we were so grateful that we got just the little bit of time that we did get to spend with her. We were so grateful for that experience. And so on behalf of the Georgia Department of Community Health, we wanted to express our condolences to you all and let you all know that you are in our thoughts and our prayers, and that Ankita will be very, very missed. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name's Quentin. I'm Nikita's fiance. I've only just come into your family, but I wanted to thank you all for all the love that you've given me as I've tried to be there for you. Nikita, this is mostly to you because I've been trying to find the right words to say the past few days, and there aren't any. But one thing that made me sad a few days ago was how you talked about how you came into the world with your sister, and you wouldn't be leaving it. But when we got on the flight here, we switched seats to go to the back of the plane, and we sat with a woman who had a little girl with her. And you mentioned Ankita's eyes. And Nikita looked at me and she said, this little girl has her eyes. So not even for an hour did she leave you. She'll be with you forever, okay? I love you. She's with you. Thank you. Thank you.
Om Sridhara Janmaha, Om Shri Geta Janmam Ratmana, Om Damodara Janmaha. सन्तु भूतविजाताः एते भूमिभारकाः एते दामविरोधेनास्मिन् कर्मतमानभे ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं कृष्णं जयवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्ते यस्तत्परदवक्त्राद्याः पारिजस्याः परस्ततं विघ्नं निघ्नं च सततं विष्पक्तेन तमाश्रयारिवं तत् अस्मिन् अशेषे हे परिषत् भगवत् पादमूले मया समर्पिता इमां सौवर्णीं दक्षिणा यत्किञ्चित् यथोक्त दक्षिणामिव ताम्बूलं च स्वीकृत्य मम कुमार्याः अस्मिन् दहन संस्करण अर्थम् अद्य कारयितुं कर्तुम् उपक्रमते अस्मिन् कार्याणि कर्तुं योग्यता सिद्धिम् अनुगृहाणा स्याजमास्यास्मिन् दहन संस्करणाख्यं कर्तुं योग्यता सिद्धिरस्तु दहनाञ्च यजमानस्य कुमार्याः साङ्ख्यानवार्षिकोत्रायाः अंकिता वर्णं नाम्याः मम कुमार्याः दहनजनित समस्त कार्याणि कर्तुम् अद्य कारयितुम् उपक्रमते तदङ्गं समस्त पुण्यतीर्थ नदीजलेषु स्नान अकरण कर्तुम् उत्क्रान्ति गोदान कर्मणि अद्य करिष्ये तदङ्गं सर्वदा शुद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् समस्तानि नदीजलानि प्रार्थयिष्ये ॐ अस्मिन् देवताभ्यो नमो नमः ॐ भगवतो बलेन भगवतो वीर्येण भगवतस्तेजसा भगवतः कर्मणा भगवतः कर्म करिष्यामि ॐ इमं मे वरुणस्तरुध्येमध्याजमृडय वामवस्तिराजके तत्त्वायामि ब्रह्मणा वन्दमानस्तदा आस्ते जमाना वृद्धिः अखेदमाना वर्णे खवोद्धर्जगन्तमाना आजप्रमोदीः अस्मिन् कुम्भे सकलतीर्थाधिपतिं भगवन्तं पुण्डरीकाक्षं वरुणं ध्यायामि अवाहयामि आसनं समर्पयामि ॐ वरुणान्तर्यामिने पुण्डरीकाक्षाय नमः समस्तोपचाराः समर्पयामि ॐ अवाहिता सर्वाभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमो नमस्तयोः अर्घ्यं समर्पयामि पादयोः पाद्यं दुपाद्यं समर्पयामि मुखे आचमनीयाद्भिः समर्पयामि मन्त्रस्नानं समर्पयामि स्नानान्तरं शुद्धा आचमनीयाद्भिः समर्पयामि वस्त्रार्थं भवेदार्थं मक्षदादिभिः समर्पयामि वस्त्रार्थं भवेदार्थं मक्षदादिभिः समर्पयामि दिव्यपरिमलगन्धान् धारयामि ॐ गन्धद्वारान्तराधरजां च पुष्टाङ्गरीश्वरीः ईश्वरीं सर्वभूतानां दामिनोपक्वे श्रियम् आजनेते परायणे दूर्वारोहन्तु पुष्पणीः प्रदाश्च पुण्डरीकान्तमत्रश्च गृहायिमे इमानि पुष्पाणि समस्तोपचाराः समर्पयामि धूपमाघ्रापयामि ॐ मूर्धान्तिवारधिं पृथिव्या वै ईश्वानरमृता च जातमग्निं कविं सम्राजमतिच्छिञ्जनानाम् आसन्नापात्रं जनयन्त देवाः इति धूपमाघ्रापयामि प्रत्यक्षदीपादिभिः सन्दर्शयामि ॐ दीप्यस्यानमेदो विघ्नन्निरतिं मम अशोकश्चमह्यमावाजीवनं च दिशो दिशा मालाहिकुन्दीत्यातवेदोगामुष्टं जगत् अभिभ्रग्नागैः श्रिया मा परिपाताया इति धूपमाघ्रापयामि प्रत्यक्षदीपादिभिः सन्दर्शयामि धूपदीपान्तरं शुद्धा आचमनीयाद्भिः समर्पयामि अस्मिन् मधुरफलोपहाराद्भिः निवेदयामि ॐ देवस्यत्माविदप्रदवे ऊष्णास्ताभ्याम् आददे इति मधुरफलोपहाराद्भिः निवेदयामि नोक्ष्या परिहित्यादोजनाभिर्विजोत्याद्रभिन्द्रियामृजीवृत्या ॐ देवताभ्यो नमो नमः ॐ दधिक्रामन्वाकारसिञ्जष्णारस्वस्य वाजिनाः सुराभिनां खागरत्मनायोगं दिदार्भते आपाहिष्ठामय भवस्तानभोज्येतधातना अखेरणाजेष्ठते यावशिवतमारितस्तस्य भाजेते घनाः विषतीरिव मातरः तस्मा अरङ्गमामभोजस्य क्षयाजजिन्वथा आपो जनयथा जनाः हिरण्यवर्णास्तु चेः पावकायासु जातः कस्य भोजास्मिन्द्राः अग्नीयागत्पन्दधिरे विरूपास्तान आपश्चक्रस्यो न भवन्तु यात् राजा वर्णो जातिमध्ये तत्यान्वृते भवस्यञ्जनानां मधुश्च्युतश्च च योजाः पावकास्तान आपश्चक्रस्यो न भवन्तु यासान् देवादिभिः गृह्णन्ति भक्षय्यान्तरिक्षेप बुधा भवन्ति याः पृथिवीं वैदोन्दन्ति शुक्रास्तान आपश्चक्रस्यो न भवन्तु शिवेन मा चक्षुषावस्तदावशिवजातनुभोपस्पृशदुत्पजं मे सर्वाग्म् अग्निगुं रप्सुषदो गुबे वामैमत्ताबलमो जोनिधत्तात् अपमानस्तु भज्जनाः पवित्रेण विचर्षणीः यः पोता सपुनातु मा पुनन्तु मा देवजनाः पुनन्तु मनबोधिया पुनन्तु विश्व आयवाः यातवेदः पवित्रवत् पवित्रेण पुनाहि मा शुक्रेण देवदीज्यत् अग्ने कृत्वा कृतुम्रण यत्ते पवित्रमद्विषि अग्ने वितदमन्तर ब्रह्मा तेन प्रीमहे भाभ्यां देवतविताः पवित्रेण दवेन च इदं ब्रह्म प्रीमहे वैश्वदेवी पुनति देव्यागात् यस्ये वक्वेस्तनुवा वीतपुष्ठाः तया मदन्तस्तदमाद्येषु वयकृस्यामपदयोरयीनाम् वैश्वानरो रश्मिभिर्मापुनात् वातः प्राणेने चिरामयो भूः या पृथ्वी पयसापयोभिः अतापरि यज्ञिजे मापुनीता प्राद्भिस्तमितस्तृभिः परिज्यष्ठेर्ते वामन्मभिः अग्ने दक्षैः पुनाहि मां येन देवा अपुनतां येनापो दिव्यङ्गथाः तेन दिव्येन ब्रह्मणा इदं ब्रह्म पुनीमहे यत्पावामानिर्ध्येति ऋषिभिः सम्भृतं व्रतं सर्वं तवोतमस्नाति पतितं वादरित्पना पावमानीर्यो अध्येति ऋषिभिः सम्भृतं व्रतं तस्मै सरस्वती दुःखे क्षीरं दर्पिर्मधोदकं पावमानी स्वस्यैनीः सुदुःखाखि घृतश्च्युताः ऋषिभिः सम्भृतार्ताः ब्राह्मणे त्वमृतं हितं पावमानीर्ति शन्तनाः इमं लोकमथो अमुं कामान् समर्दयन्तु नाः देवीर्देवैः समाभृताः पावमानी स्वस्यैनीः सुदुःखाखि घृतश्च्युताः ऋषिभिः सम्भृतार्ताः ब्राह्मणे त्वमृतं हितं येन देवाः पवित्रेण आत्मानं पुनते तथा तेन दास्त्रधारेण पावमान्यः पुनन्तु मां राजापत्यं पवित्रं शतोद्यामं हिरण्मयं तेन ब्रह्मविदा वयं भूतं ब्रह्म मनीमहे इन्द्रस्य नीतिदहमा पुनात् सोमस्वस्यावरुणस्य मीत्या यमो राजा प्रमृणाभिः पुनातु मा जातवेदामूर्त्ययन्त्या पुनात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुभो भूर्भुवस्सुभो भूर्भुवस्सुभाः देवताभ्यो नमो नमः इमान् समस्तोपचाराः समर्पयामि सहानाञ्च यजमानश्च करिष्यमाणाः अस्मिन् उत्क्रान्तिबोधानकर्मणि अद्य करिष्ये ॐ अस्मिन् देवताभ्यो नमो नमः इमान् समस्तोपचाराः समर्पयामि ॐ जपामङ्गेषु तिष्ठन्ति भुवनाय चतुर्दशा तस्मात् शिवं मे स्यात् ततः शान्तिं प्रयच्छ मे अस्मिन् देवताभ्यो नमो नमः इमान् समस्तोपचाराः देवताभ्यो नमो नमः त्रियाधिदेवताभ्यो नमो नमः सर्वमङ्गलवाप्त्यर्थं सकलक्षेमादिभिः यजमानस्य अस्मिन् गयाधितमस्वत्नान फलदाः विख्याता पञ्चगङ्गा प्रकीर्तिताः राजान्तु समस्तस्नानाः प्रदाः सिद्धिरस्तु ॐ अस्मिन् देवताभ्यो नमो नमः इमान् समस्तोपचाराः समर्पयामि सकलक्षेमादिभिः अभिवृद्ध्यथा सिद्धिरस्तु सत्याजेता तेजस्संवृद्ध्यास्तु यमानस्य कामाः सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं द्वादरपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः ॐ अस्मिन् देवताभ्यो नमो नमः इमान् समस्तोपचाराः समर्पयामि अकारार्थो विष्णुः जगदुदय रक्षा प्रलयकृतो मकारार्थो जीवाः कारार्थो विष्णु जगदुदय रक्षा प्रलयकृतो मकारार्थो जीवाः तदुपकरणं वैष्णवमिदं कारणन्यारकं नियमैति सम्बन्धमनयो श्रीसारस्त्रियात्मा प्रणव इवमर्थं दमदिशत् मन्त्रब्रह्मणि मध्यमेन नमदा पुंसस्वरूपं गतिः गम्यं दीक्षितमीक्षितेन व्रताः पश्चादपि स्थानताः स्वातन्त्र्यं निजरक्षणं तमुचिता वृत्तिस्तनान्योचिता तस्येर्वेदहरेर्विविच्यथितं स्वस्यापि नार्घं ददाः अकारार्थायैव स्पमहम् अधमक्कन्ननिवाह नराणां नित्यानाम् अजरमिति नारायणपदं यमाहास्मे कालं सकलमपि सर्वत्र सकलात् अवस्थास्वाविष्युः मम सहजकैङ्कर्यविधयाः लेखासक्तात्मबुद्धिः भवति पदं दाधविद्यात्कृतीयं स्वातन्त्र्यान्धो यदि स्यात् प्रथमम् इतरते तत्पथीश्चेत् द्वितीयम् आत्मत्राणोन्मुखश्चेत् नम इति च पदं बान्धवाभासलोलाः शब्दं नारायणाख्यं विषयजबलधीश्चेत् चतुर्थीं प्रपन्नाः नेतृत्वं नित्ययोगं समुचितगुणजातं तनुख्यापनं च उपायं कर्तव्यभागं वथमिथ न परं प्राप्यमेवं प्रसिद्धं स्वामित्वं प्रार्थनाञ्च प्रबलतरविरोधिप्रहानन्दचेतान् मन्दारं राजते चेदधिगतनिगमाः चक्पदोजन् विखण्डाः எல்லாம் வெட்டிடும் அங்கே பாதம் போட்டு பாதம் வரைக்கும் அப்படி ஷூ இருக்கலாம் அதுதான் நான் சொன்னேன் இல்லை ஓகே ஓகே ஓம் தேவதாभ्यो नमो नमः அந்த மாதிரி ईशानां जगतामधीतदेतां नित्यानवायां त्रियं संसृत्याश्रयणोजिताखिलगुणस्याङ्घ्रीघरे रात्रे इष्टोपायतया श्रिया तदगीताया आत्मेत्तराजार्थये कर्तुं दास्यमतेजमप्रजातं नित्यं त्वां निर्ममाः मत्प्राप्त्यर्थतया मयोक्तमखिलं सन्त्यज्य धर्मं पुनः ओङ्गिलिं कोड சொல்றீங்களா सन्त्यज्यम् ईशानां जगतामधीतदेतां नित्यानवाजां प्रियं संसृत्याश्रयणोजिताखिलगुणस्याङ्घ्रीघरेराश्रये दोपन बंधु इष्टोपायतया श्रिया तदगीताय आत्मेश्वरायार्थे कर्तुं दास्यमजेजमप्रजतं नित्यं त्वां निर्ममाः मत्प्राप्त्यर्थतया मयोक्तमखिलं संत्यज्य धर्मं पुनः मामेकं मदवाप्तये चरणमिति आर्तवदायं गुरु त्वामेवं व्यवताजयुक्तमखिलज्ञानादिपूर्णोऽख्यां मत्प्राप्तिः प्रतिबन्धकैर्विरहितं कुर्यां तुजं मा कृथाः निश्चित्यत्वदधीनतां मयि तदा कर्मात्युपायान् घरे कर्तुं जक्तुमपि प्रपत्तुमनलं वेदाविदुःखाकुलाः एतज्ज्ञानमुपेजुषो मम पुनः सर्वापराधक्षयम् कर्तासीति दृढोऽस्मि ते तु जरमं वाक्यं स्मरन् सारथेके पुरस्तात् केशवः पातु चक्रीजाम्बूनदप्रभाः पश्चान्नारायणः शङ्खी नीलजीमूतसन्निभाः इन्दीवरदलस्यामो माधवोद्भङ्गदाधराः गोविन्दो दक्षिणे पार्श्वे जन्वीचन्द्रप्रभो महान् उत्तरे हलदृग्विष्णोः पद्मकिञ्जल्षधन्निभाः आग्नेयामरविन्दाभो वसलीमधुसूदनाः त्रिविक्रमः खड्गपाणिः नैऋत्याञ्ज्वलनप्रभाः वायस्यां वामना वज्री तरुणादित्यदीप्तिमान् ऐशान्यां पुण्डरीकाभाः श्रीधरः पट्टसायुधाः विद्युत्प्रभो ऋषिकेश शवाद्यां ऋषिमुत्करी कृत्पद्मे पद्मनाभो मे सहस्रार्कतमप्रभाः सर्वायुधः सर्वशक्तिः सर्वज्ञः सर्वतोमुखः इन्द्रकोपकसङ्घातः पाशहस्तोपराजिताः सभाख्याभ्यन्तरं देहं व्याप्य दामोदरस्थिताः एवं सर्वत्र निश्चित्रं नामत्वादधवञ्जलं प्रविष्टो हन्न मे किञ्चित् भयं नास्ति कदाचन निमिषानितस्रग्रीवातस्पतिरुदारधिरीः नगरणे ग्रामणे श्रीमान्यायो नेता समीरणाः सहस्रमूर्धा विश्वात्मा दात्रा सहस्रपाद आवर्तनो निवृत्तात्मा सुमृतस्संप्रवर्तनाः सहस्रमूर्तको बन्धिरनिलो धरणीधराः सुप्रसादप्रसन्नात्मा विश्वदृढविश्वभद्रभुः सत्कर्ता सत्कृतस्तादप्यन्नरनारायणो नराः असङ्ख्येयो प्रमेयात्मा विशिष्टगुच्छितिः सिद्धार्थसिद्धिसङ्कल्पसिद्धिदसिद्धिसाधनाः विशाखेवजभौष्णोर्जवरवापुजोदराः वर्धना वर्धमानश्चाभिवृत्तस्मृतिसागराः सुभुजोदुद्धरोमाग्नेमघेन्द्रवसुधोऽवसुः नैकरूपो बृहद्रूपश्चिविष्टप्रकाशनाः वदस्ते ज्योतिषप्रकारात्मा प्रतापनाः वृद्धस्पष्टाक्षरामिन्द्रचन्द्रान्तर्भास्करच्युतिः अमृतां दुष्प्रभो मानुष्यबिन्दुस्वरेतराः औषधं जगतस्येतुः भूतभव्यभवन्नाथः पवनः पावनो नरः कामाः कामकृत्यान्तः कामकामकृतप्रभुः युगादिविगावत्रोनेकमायो महातनः अदृष्टाव्यक्तरूपश्चादात्रजितनन्तजित् विष्टोविशिष्टस्तिष्ठेष्टस्ति खण्डीनभुजोभुजाः क्रोधाः क्रोधवत्कर्ता विश्वभागुर्मकीधराः अच्युतप्रथितप्राणप्राणतो वासवानुजाः अपान्निद्रदिष्टानमप्रमत्तः प्रतिष्ठिताः स्कन्दस्कन्दधरो धुर्यो वरदो वायुवाहनाः वासुदेवो बृहत्पानराजदेव पुरन्दराः अशोकस्तारणस्तारसूरस्तोरित्यनेश्वरः अनुकूलश्चताभक्तः पत्नी पद्मनिवेक्षणाः पद्मनाभोरविन्दाक्षः पद्मगर्भः शरीरभृते महद्गरुत्था वृद्धात्मा महाक्षोगरुडध्वजाः अतुलश्चरभो भीमस्समेत्या हविर्हरिः सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो लक्ष्मीवान्तसमिञ्जयः विठ्ठलो गर्भितो मार्गो हेतुर्दामोदरः सकः श्रीधरो महाभागो वेगवाहनिदासनाः उत्पवाः क्षोभनो देवश्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गगनो गुगः व्यवधायो व्यवस्थानसंस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः परद्भित्परमस्पष्टपुष्टपुष्टशुभेक्षणाः रामो विरामो विरजो मार्गो नेयो नयोनयः वीरशक्तिमदां श्रेष्ठो धर्मो धर्मविदुत्तमः वैकुण्ठपुरुषः प्राणः प्रणवपृथुः हिरण्यगर्भस्तृष्णो व्याप्तो वायुरथोक्षुजाः कालपरमेष्ठी परिग्रहः उग्रसंवत्सरो दक्षो विश्रामो विश्वदक्षिणाः स्थावरस्तामप्रमाणं बीजमं जयम् अर्थो महाघोषो महाभोगो महाधनाः अनिर्विन्नस्तविष्टो भूर्धर्मयूपो महामुखाः नक्षत्रे क्षमाक्षामस्तमीखनाः नित्यमिहेत्यस्ताकृतस्तत्रं सदाङ्गतिः सर्वदर्शी वृत्तात्मा सर्वज्ञो ज्ञानमुत्तमम् सुहृतस्वमुखस्तूक्ष्मस्तुभवतस्तुगतस्तुकृते मनोहराजितक्रोधो वीरबाहुर्विदारणाः स्वापनस्पौतोऽप्यामेनेकात्मानेककर्मकृते वत्सलो वत्सीरत्नगर्भोधनेश्वराः धर्मकृद्धर्मी तदक्षरमदक्षर अभिज्ञातास्त्रां चर्विधाता कृतलक्षणाः गभस्तिने मित्तस्तस्सिंहो भूतमहेश्वराः आदिदेवो महादेवो देवेशो देवभृद्गुरुः चतरो गोपतिर्गोप्ता ज्ञानगम्यः पुरातनाः शरीरभूतविद्भोक्ता कवीन्द्रो भूरिदक्षिणाः सोमवामतवस्तोमपुरजत्पुरुषोत्तमाः विनयो देवसत्यसन्धो दाता विश्वास्पदां पतिः जीवो विनीता साक्षी मुकुन्दोमितविक्रमः अम्भो निधरणन्दात्मामभोदधिशयोऽन्तकः अजो महार्गत्वा भाव्योजिता मित्रप्रमोदनाः आनन्दोऽनन्दनोऽनन्दसत्यधर्मातृविक्रमः प्रविलाचार्यप्रदज्ञो मेदिनीपतिः पुरदस्त्रैताक्षमात्मीयकृतान्तर्गत महाबलाभो गोविन्दश्रुषेण कनकाङ्गली दुर्योगभीरोगो गुप्तश्चक्रगदाधराः वेदास्वाङ्गोजितः कृष्णादृढस्तङ्गविष्णोत्कराः वरुणो वारुणो वृत्तपुष्कराक्षो महामनाः भगवान् भगवानन्दीवनमालीकलायुधः आदित्यो ज्योतिरादित्यश्रेष्ठः सुधन्वा खण्डवरचत्तारिणो त्रिविनप्रदाः दिवसर्वव्यातो वातस्पतिरयो निजाः सामनिर्वाणं भेषजं विषके धन्यातवक्षमश्रान्तो निष्ठातान्तिपरायणाः शुभाङ्गश्रान्तिदस्रष्टात्मदकुमलेचयाः गोपितो गोपतिर्गोप्तावृतभाक्षोभृतप्रियाः अनिभक्तिनिवृत्तात्मा तच्छेत्ताक्षेमकुक्षिवाः श्रीवत्सवक्षा श्रीवासश्रीपति श्रीमदाम्बराः श्रीधश्रीशश्रीनिवासश्रीनिधिश्रीविभावनाः श्रीधरश्रीकरश्रेयश्रीमान् लोकत्रयाश्रयः तत्स्पृङ्गस्तदानन्दोऽनन्द्यज्योतिर्गणेश्वराः विजितात्मा विधेयात्मा तत्कीर्तिश्चिन्न संशयाः जीर्णस्तर्वतश्चक्षरणीतस्तास्पदस्थिराः भूषयो भूषणो भूतिर्विशोकशोकनाशनाः अस्तिष्मानत्युतः कुम्भो विचत्थात्मा विनोदनाः अनिरुद्धो प्रतिरथः प्रद्युम्नो विदविक्रमाः कालणे मणिघावीरस्तोरस्तोरित्यनेश्वराः लोकात्मा त्रिलोके चक्रे च वक्रे शिखाखरिः कामदेवः कामपालः कामीकान्तः कृतागमाः अनिर्देशोपरिविष्णुर्वीरोऽनन्दो धनञ्जयाः ब्रह्मण्यो ब्रह्मविद्ब्रह्मा ब्रह्मविवर्धनाः ब्रह्मविद्ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मी ब्रह्मज्ञो ब्राह्मणप्रियाः महाक्रमो महाकर्मा महातेजा महोरगाः महाकृतिर्महाजिह्वा महाजिज्ञो महाकविः स्तव्यस्तमप्रियस्तोत्रंस्तुतस्तोदारणप्रियः पूर्णः पूर्वेदा पुण्यः पुण्यकीर्तिर्नामयाः मनोजवस्तीर्थकरो उदरेतावसुप्रदाः वसुप्रदा वासुदेवो वसुर्वसुमना कविः सत्कृतिस्तत्कृतिस्तत्तासद्भूतिस्तत्परायणाः सुरसेनो यदुश्रेष्ठः सन्निवासस्यामनाः भूतावासो वासुदेवः सर्वास्य निलयो नराः सर्पः दर्पदो दुष्टो दुर्धरो धापराजिताः मूर्तिर्महामूर्तिर्दीप्तमूर्तिरमूर्तिमान् अनेकमूर्तिरव्यक्तस्तमूर्तिस्तदाननाः एकोनेकस्तवः किं यत्तत्पदमनुत्तमम् लोकबन्धुर्लोकनाथो माधवो भक्तवत्सलाः सुवर्णवर्णो घेमाङ्गो वराङ्गस्सन्दनाङ्गदी वीरः विषमस्तून्यो घृतादीरतलश्चलाः मानीमानदो मान्यो लोकस्वामी त्रिलोकधृत् त्रिमेधामेतजो धन्यस्तत्यमेधाधराधराः दैवपुजोद्विविभरस्तर्वजस्तभृतान्तराः विग्रहो विग्रहो व्यग्रोनेकशृङ्गो गदाकृजाः चतुर्मूर्तिश्चतुर्बाहुश्चतुर्व्यूहश्चतुर्गतिः चतुरात्मा चतुर्भावश्चतुर्वेदविदेकवात् समावर्तो निवृत्तात्मा दुर्जयो दुरतिक्रमः दुर्लभो दुर्गमो दुर्गो दुरावासो दुरारिका शुभाङ्गो लोकसारङ्गस्तु तन्तुस्तन्तुवर्धनाः नरकर्मा महाकर्मा कृतकर्मा कृतागमाः उत्पवस्सुन्दरसुन्दरतनाभस्सुलोचनाः तत्त्ववादितरसङ्गीतेन्द्रः सर्वविद्यैः सुवर्णमिन्द्रक्षोभ्यः सर्वभागीश्वरेश्वराः महाग्नदो महागर्तो महाभूतो महानिधिः कुमुदः कुन्दरः कुन्दः पर्जन्यः पावनोऽनिलाः अमृतांशोमृतोपस्सर्वज्ञः सर्वतोमुखाः चतुर्दामनाः नेत्रोधो दुर्मरो स्वस्तस्थानुरान्मणिशोधनाः सहस्राब्धिस्तत्तेतास्तत्वाहनाः मूर्धरणभोजुञ्जो भैवत्भैनाजनाः अनुबृहत्तस्थूलो प्रभृञ्जर्गुणो महान् धृतस्वधृतस्वास्त्यप्राग्वंशवंशवर्धनाः भारवर्गधिरो योगी योगीशस्तर्वकामदाः आश्रमश्रमणाः क्षामस्सुपर्णो वायुवाहनाः धनुद्धरो धनुर्वेदो दण्डोदमयितातमाः अपराजितः सर्वतहो नियन्ता नियमो यमाः सत्त्ववान् तात्विकसत्यधर्मपराजनाः अभिप्रायप्रियार्कोर्घप्रकृतिधनाः विराजज्योतिष्ठरजरुहृतभुग्विभुः रविर्विलोचनः सूर्यस्तविता रविलोचनाः अनन्तभूतबुद्भोक्ता सुखदो नैकदो गिरिजाः निर्विन्नस्तदा मरीषिलोकाधिष्ठानमत्कृताः सनातनतमः स्वस्ति भुक्तस्ति दक्षिणाः करोत्रकुण्डलीचक्रीविक्रम्योद्यतदासनाः शब्दादिकशब्दतः सिद्धरस्सर्वरीकराः चलो दक्षो दक्षिणाः क्षमिनाम्बराः दुर्गतमोऽभीतभयः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनाः उदारणो दुष्प्रतिघा पुण्यो दुष्पत्ननाथनाः वीरालक्षणस्तुन्दो जीवनं पर्यवस्थिताः अनन्दरोपानन्दस्त्रियद्वितमन्यभयापकः चतुरस्रो गभीरात्मा विदिशो व्यादिशो दिशाः नादिर्भूद्भवो लक्ष्मीस्तु वीरोर्जिलाङ्गताः जननो जनजन्मादिर्भीमो भीमपराक्रमाः आधारणयोधाता विश्वाहातः प्रजागराः उर्भगस्तत्पथादातः प्राणतः प्रवपणाः प्रमाणन्द्रमणनिलयः प्राणतः प्राणजीवनाः तद्वन्द्वत्वविदेकात्मा जन्ममृत्युजलातिकाः भूद्भवस्पस्तरस्तारस्तपिता प्रपितामहाः यज्ञो यज्ञमतिर्यज्वा यज्ञाङ्गो यज्ञवाहनाः यज्ञभृत्यज्ञभृत्यज्ञी यज्ञभुग्यज्ञसाधनाः यज्ञान्तवृत्यज्ञभृत्यमन्नमन्नादयेव च आत्मयोनिष्वैञ्जातो वेक्षानः सामगाजनाः देवकीनन्दनस्रष्टाक्षती च पावनाशनाः शङ्खगुण्डकी चक्रीशान्यधन्वागदाधराः तथाङ्गवाणिर्क्षोभ्यः सर्वप्रहरणायुधाः शङ्खवर्णन्दकी चक्रीशान्यधन्वागदाधराः तथाङ्गवाणिर्क्षोभ्यः सर्वप्रहरणायुधाः श्रीसर्वप्रहरणायुधवो नम इति अनमादिगदीशान्की चक्रीचन्दकी श्रीमान्नारायणो विष्णुर्वासुदेवोऽभिरक्षतु अनमादिगदीशान्की चक्रीचक्रन्तकी श्रीमान्नारायणो विष्णुर्वासुदेवोऽभिरक्षतु श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने श्रीराम नाम वरानन ओं नम इति ब्रह्मोवाच नमोऽस्तु नन्दाय सहस्रमूर्तये सहस्रपादाक्षितिरोर्वाकवे सहस्रनाम्ने वृषाय सहस्रपदे सहस्रकोटिकधारिणे नमः श्रीसहस्रकोटिकधारण ओं नम इति सञ्जय उवाच यत्र योगीश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवाणी तन्मतिर्मम श्रीभगवानुवाच अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभिप्राणां योगक्षेमं वाहाम्यः परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि युगे युगे आस्ताभिषन्नास्तिफलाश्च भीताः द्वरेषु च व्याधि च वर्तमानाः संकीर्त्य नारायणशब्दमात्रं विमुक्तदुःखाक्षिणो भवन्तु आर्ताभिषन्नास्तिफलाश्च भीताः द्वरेषु च व्याधि च वर्तमानाः संकीर्त्य नारायणशब्दमात्रं विमुक्तदुःखाक्षिणो भवन्तु यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि ॐ स्मिन् देवताभ्यो नमः अस्मिन् स्थाने च सञ्जलानति कल्पयामि आदिः ॐ स्मिन् देवताभ्यो नमः ॐ भूर्भुवस्वरं शक्तिं प्रतिष्ठाप्य भूर्भुवस्वरं शून्याः परित्यर्थे स्तविष्टामत्तमाः अनियान्द्राघियान् दक्षिणार्थाः स्तविष्टवुत्तरार्थाः ते विपरीतमुल्लिख्य ॐ नये नमः ॐ जातवेदसे नमः ॐ देवताभ्यो नमः समर्पयामि ॐ भूर्भुवस्वाहा ॐ स्मिन् देवताभ्यो नमः देवताभ्यो नमः ॐ श्रियादिदेवताभ्यो नमः गुरुदेव प्रपन्नाय ददास्मि विजयादवे भयं सर्वभूतेभ्यो ददाम्ये तत्परतं मम स्वाहा मित्रभावेन सम्प्राप्तं न च देहिं कथञ्चन दोषोज्जवितस्यात्सदामेतदगर्हितं स्वाहा पापानां वा शुभानां वा दारकाणां प्रमङ्गम आदिङ्करणमाद्येन न कश्चिन्नापराजति स्वाहा स्थिते मनसि दुष्पस्थे शरीरे तृतीयो नराः धातुधाम्ये स्थिते स्मस्ता विश्वरूपञ्चमामितं स्वाहा ततस्तं प्रियमाणं सुखाष्टवाघानसन्निभम् अहं स्मरामि मद्भक्तन्नयामि परमां गतिं स्वाहा नयामि परमां गतिं सत्यं ब्रवीमि मनुजा स्वयमोद्भवा भूयो मां मुकुन्द नरसिंह जनार्दनेति जीवञ्जपत्कनुदिनं मरणे ऋणीभावाशानकाष्ठतदृशाय ददामि मुक्तिं स्वाहा मामेवानुस्मरस्त्वं त्वामां तं स्मरामि च उपायमुपवर्गस्य रहस्यमपि मे शृणु स्वाहा सर्वकर्माणि सज्जेभ्य सर्वकर्मफलानि च शरणं मां प्रपद्यस्व सर्वबन्धविमुक्तये स्वाहा सुदर्शनमहाज्वाला कोटिसूर्यतमप्रभा अज्ञानान्धश्च मे देव विष्णोर्मार्गं प्रदर्शय स्वाहा पाञ्चजन्यनिजद्भानद्धस्तवाच्युतं तया पाहि मां पापिनं घोरमुदारार्णवपातिनं स्वाहा श्रीशैले तदया वाच्यं देवत्यादिगुणार्णवं यतीन्द्रप्रवणं वन्दे रम्यजामातरं मुनिं स्वाहा ॐ नमः श्रीजयमनाथाय कुन्दीरकरजन्मने प्रसादलब्धवरमप्राप्य कैङ्कर्यजालने स्वाहा श्रीशैलनाथाय नमः लोकाचार्याय गुरवे कृष्णपादस्य धूनवे संसारभोगिदन्तष्टादीपदीपातवे नमः स्वाहा श्रीलोकाचार्याय नमः कृष्णपादस्य धूनवे संसारभोगिदन्तष्टादीपदीपातवे नमः स्वाहा श्रीकृष्णपादाय नमः वेदान्तवेद्यामृतभारिराशे वेदार्थसारामृतपूर्णमग्र्यम् आदाय वर्धन्तमां प्रवद्ये कारुण्यपूर्णं कल्पेरिदातं स्वाहा श्रीकल्पेरिदाताय नमः ॐ यामुनार्यसुधाम्भोधि सरदार्यमहाम्बुधि तदा पुनश्चङ्करथाङ्गकल्पगद्भजालबिन्दाङ्कुशवज्रलाञ्छनं त्रिविक्रमत्वचरणाम्बुजद्वयं मदीयमूर्धानमलङ्करिष्यति स्वाहा अस्मिन् देवताभ्यो नमो नमः ॐ कारार्थो विष्णुः जगदुदयर्थाप्लेकृतमकारार्थो जीवादुपकरणं वैष्णवमिदमुकारोऽनन्यार्घम् नियमैतिदं बन्धमुनियो घोरैसारस्त्रियात्मा प्रणवैवमर्थं समरिषतु स्वाहा मन्त्रब्रह्मणि मध्यमेन नमदा मृतस्वरूपं यदीकं विञ्चिक्षितमीक्षितेन व्रताः वृत्तादुपस्थानताः स्वातन्त्र्यं निजरक्षणं तमजिदावत्यस्तनान्योजिदा तस्यैर्वेते हरेर्विनित्यर्थं तस्यापि नान्यं ददाः स्वाहा अकालार्थाय तस्ममथमख्यन्ननिवाः नराणां नित्यानामजनमिति नारायणपदम् यमाभास्मै कालं सकलमपि सर्वत्र सकलासु अवस्थात्ताविष्णुः यजमानस्य कैङ्कर्यविधेयः स्वाहा देखादत्तात्मबुद्धिः भवति पदम् साधुविद्यात्तृतीयं स्वातन्त्र्यां द्वयदिस्यात्प्रसममितरचेतत्प्रधीस्येद्वितीयम् आत्मत्लानोऽन्यस्तेन मयिति जगतं बान्धवाभातलोकाः नारायणाख्येतवलधीश्चेत् प्रपन्नाः स्वाहा नेतृत्वं नित्ययोगं समुचिरगुणजातं तरुख्यापनं च उपायं कर्तव्यभागं तथामिथनवरं प्राप्यमेवं प्रसिद्धं स्वामित्वं प्रार्थनाञ्च प्रबलतरविरोधिप्रानन्दचेतानन्दालङ्कायचेतेनधिगतनिगमाः क्षिपदोजन्विखण्डाः स्वाहा ईशानां जगदाधीतवेदां नित्यानवाद्यां प्रियन्तं त्रिज्यात्रेणोचिताखिलसंस्यान्त्रेणरेरात्रे स्तोपाजतया श्रियाचतगिताजा आत्मेश्वराजार्थे कर्तुं दास्यमचेतमप्रजातं नित्यं भान्यर्ममाः स्वाहा अप्राप्त्यर्थतया मयोक्तमखिलं तद्यधर्मं पुनः मामेकं मठभास्ते धर्मनित्यात्ववतायं कुर स्वामेकं देवतायुक्तमखलज्ञानादिपूर्णोऽख्यमप्राप्तिप्रतिबन्धकेर्विरेतं क्रियां जन्माकृथा स्वाहा निश्चित्यत्वदधीनतां मयि सदा कर्माद्युपायान् कर्तुं चक्रमपि प्रपत्तमनलं सीतापि दुःखाकुलाः एतज्ज्ञानं वेद्यो मम पुनः सर्वापराधक्षयम् कर्तासीत् दृढोऽस्मि ते धर्मं वाक्यं स्मरन्ता रथे स्वाहा ॐ केशवाय स्वाहा ॐ नारायणाय स्वाहा ॐ माधवाय स्वाहा ॐ गोविन्दाय स्वाहा ॐ विष्णवे स्वाहा ॐ मधुसूदनाय स्वाहा ॐ त्रिविक्रमाय स्वाहा ॐ मधुसूदनाय स्वाहा ॐ वामनाय स्वाहा ॐ श्रीधराय स्वाहा ॐ ऋषिकेशाय स्वाहा ॐ पद्मनाभाय स्वाहा ॐ दामोदराय स्वाहा ॐ सर्वेभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा
If anyone wants to come and speak a few words about Ankita and the family, you're welcome to do so. We have a few minutes. Hello. They are ready to do the final prayers and take her home. So if there's nobody else wants to come and talk, I suggest that you all close your eyes and we'll say Om 3 times and meditate and send all our positive thoughts and prayers over to Ankita and to the family. Please keep your eyes closed and send all the positive thoughts and prayers to Ankita and the family. Om.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ सतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा मृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ आपो जनयथा जनाः पृथिवी शान्ता शाग्निना शान्ता सामे शान्ता सुजगं शमयतु अन्तरिक्षं शान्तं तद्वायुना शान्तं तन्मे शान्तं सुजगं शमयतु द्यौः शान्ता सादित्येन शान्ता सा मे शान्ता सुजगं शमयतु पृथिवी शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिर्द्यौः शान्तिर्दिशः शान्तिः अवान्तरदिशाः शान्तिरग्निश्शान्तिर्वायुः शान्तिरादित्यः शान्तिश्चन्द्रमा शान्तिर्नक्षत्राणि शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिर्वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्गौः शान्तिरजा शान्तिरश्वः शान्तिः पुरुषः शान्तिः ब्रह्मशान्तिर्ब्राह्मणः शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः शान्तिर्मे अस्तु शान्तिः तयाहं शान्त्या सर्वशान्त्या मह्यं विपदे चतुष्पदे च शान्तिं करोमि शान्तिर्मे अस्तु शान्तिः இது வந்து இந்த ஃபேமிலியில சாந்தி அப்படின்னு சொல்லி வேதத்துல தான் சொல்றது. ஆனா அது எல்லாரும் ஒரு ஆறுதலை தவிர உங்களுக்கு வந்து குறை யாராலையும் தீர்க்க முடியாது. ஆனா இது வந்து ஒரு சித்திரகேது அப்படின்ற ஒரு மகாராஜா இருந்தார். அந்த ராஜாவுக்கு சந்தானமே இல்லை. சந்தானமே இல்லாதப்ப அவங்க குரு நாரத பகவான் வந்தார். என்னப்பா ரொம்ப கவலையோட உட்கார்ந்துருக்க அப்படின்னு. சந்தானமே இல்லை. இவ்வளவு வருஷம் ஆயிடுச்சு, ராஜா கிங்டம்ல இருக்கிற எல்லாரும் உங்க குழந்தைகள் மாதிரி தானே, ஏன் திருப்பி சந்தானம் பத்தி கவலைப்படுறேன்? இல்ல சந்தானம் இருந்தா தானே அவருக்கு சம்பதைக்கு ஒரு ஆனந்தம், அதனால சந்தானம் வேணும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டாரு. சரி, அவர் வந்து அனுகிரகம் பண்ணிட்டு உங்களுக்கு சந்தானம் கிடைக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னார். இன்னும் ஒரு குழந்தை பாக்கியம் கிடைச்சிருக்கு அவருக்கு. அந்த பிள்ளை வந்து ஒரு 20 வயசுக்குள்ள நல்லா சக்தி வாழ்ந்தவர், ஒரு நல்ல வீதியான தயாராகி 20 வயசுக்குள்ள திருப்பி காலமாயிட்டார். உடனே திருப்பி அவர் சோகத்தோட உட்கார்ந்துருக்காரு. திருப்பி நாரத பகவான் வந்தாரு. ஏன்பா திருப்பி அப்படியே உட்கார்ந்துருக்கியே? அவர் சொன்னாரா, இல்லப்பா நீ சந்தான வாங்கி கொடுத்துருக்கேன், அதுக்குள்ளே திருப்பி கூட்டிட்டு போயிட்டியே, எனக்கு எவ்வளவு கஷ்டமா இருக்கும், தாங்க எவ்வளவு சிரமம் அப்படின்னு. நாரத பகவான் சொன்னாரா, எத்தனை வருஷம் இருந்தார்? 20 வருஷம். இந்த 20 வருஷம் நீ என்ஜாய் பண்ணியா இல்லையா? அவர் இல்லாதப்ப அவர் ஞாபகம் வந்தா சந்தோஷத்தோட தானே இருக்கணும். அது ஏன் நீ கஷ்டமா எடுத்துக்கிற? இனிமேல் இல்லை அப்படின்ற ஒரு கவலை நீ எடுத்துக்கிறே தவிர இருக்கிறது எல்லாமே நினைச்சு நீ சந்தோஷமா தான் இருக்கணும். அது நினைச்சிட்டு தான் நீ சந்தோஷமா இருக்குமே தவிர போனது போச்சு அப்படின்னு திருப்பி நீ கவலையோட உட்கார்ந்தேன்னா யாராலையும் முடியாது அப்படின்னு. இல்லை எனக்கு அந்த குழந்தை தான் வேணும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டார். கேட்டோடனே சரி, நாரத பகவான் உடனே யமனை கூப்பிட்டு, இந்த இவங்களுடைய குழந்தைய நீ கூட்டிட்டு போயிருக்கிய, அவங்களுக்கு வேணுமா, திருப்பி அந்த குழந்தைய கூப்பிடு அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. சார் அந்த புத்தி தேவதை அவர் பேச்சு மட்டும்தான் கேட்கும், ஏன்னா ஒரு குரு இல்லையா. சார் திருப்பி நாரத பகவான் யமத்தை சொல்ல, யமர் வந்து அந்த குழந்தைய கூட்டிட்டு வந்தார். உங்க அப்பா உனக்காக எதிர்பார்த்துருக்க, உங்க அம்மா உனக்கு சாப்பாடு ஊத்தலைன்னா அவங்களால சாப்பிட முடியாதா, நீ வா சீக்கிரமா அப்படின்ட்டு அந்த இது கூட்டிட்டு வந்து எத்தாப்புல உட்காந்துச்சு. எத்தாப்புல உட்கார்ந்த உடனே அந்த குழந்தை கேட்டுச்சேன், எந்த அப்பா அம்மாட்ட போகணும், நான் எந்த அப்பா அம்மாட்ட போகணும்? நாங்க தானே உங்க அப்பா அம்மா அப்படின்னு. இந்த ஆத்மா விட்டு எனக்கு ஒரு நாள் ஆயிட்டு, இந்த ஒரு நாளுக்குள்ள நான் வந்து 18 ஜென்மம் எடுத்துட்டேன். இந்த 18 ஜென்மத்துக்குள்ள எத்தனையோ அப்பா அம்மா உண்டாங்க. இன்னொரு 3 ஜென்மம் எடுத்துட்டேன்னா நான் மோட்சத்துக்கு போக போறேன். இந்த 3 ஜென்மத்துக்குள்ள நான் மோட்சத்துக்கு போறதுக்குள்ள நீ திருப்பி பின்னாடி கூப்பிட்டேன்னா நான் திருப்பி இந்த 18 ஜென்மம் எடுக்கணும். பண்ண யார் எங்கேருந்து நான் எடுக்கணும்னு தெரியலையே, அதனால எனக்கு வந்து இது பண்ணல முடியலையே அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அப்போ சொல்றாரா, வாசாம்சி ஜீர்ணா, பகவத்கீதை கிருஷ்ணர் சொன்ன ஸ்லோகம் தான், வாசாம்சி ஜீர்ணானி யதாவியா. ஒரு நல்ல பணக்காரன் வைங்கோ, அவருக்கு நல்ல துணி நிறைய ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்காங்கன்னா ஒரு வாடி கட்டின வேஷ்டி இன்னொரு வாடி கட்ட மாட்டேன், அந்த துணியெல்லாம் திருப்பி போட்டுக்க மாட்டேன். அதே மாதிரி தான் இந்த சரீரத்தை ஒரு வாடி தரிச்ச உடனே அவன் திருப்பி தூக்கி போட்டுருவாங்க. ஞானிகள்லாம் என்ன பண்ணாங்க, பைசா ஜாஸ்தியா இருந்தா துணி வந்து தூக்கி போகலாம், ஆனா ஞானம் ஜாஸ்தியா இருந்தா சரீரத்தை அப்படி தூக்கி போட்டுட்டு திருப்பி இன்னொரு ஜென்மத்துக்குள்ள போவாங்க. இது மாதிரி அவரும் பொண்ணும் அதே மாதிரி தான் சீக்கிரமா இந்த பெருமாளை கைங்கரியம் பண்ணிட்டு சந்தோஷமா இருக்கிற, ஆல்வேஸ் பீஸ்ஃபுல்லா எந்த இடத்துல இருக்கணும், இங்க போய் உட்கார்ந்து சந்தோஷமா இருக்காங்க. எப்போ நீங்க பார்க்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களோ அப்போ பகவத் பாதத்துல போய் பாருங்க, அங்கேயே உட்கார்ந்து அங்க கைங்கரியம் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்களே தவிர அதை நினைச்சுக்கிட்டு நீங்க சந்தோஷமா இருங்கோ. அது தவிர வேற யார் எத்தனை பேர் வந்தாலும் இவரை என்ன ஒரு சொல்வார், தசரதத்துக்கு ராமர் காட்டு போனோம்னே சொல்லுவாங்க, அப்பா காலமாயிட்டாருன்னா ஒரு வருஷம் அந்த கவலை இருக்கும், அம்மா காலமாயிட்டாங்கன்னா 6 மாசம் இருக்கும், புருஷனோ பண்டாட்டி அவங்க காலமாயிட்டாங்கன்னா ஒரு 3 மாசமோ 1 மாசமோ இருக்கும். இந்த பிரார்த்தனைகள்னா ஒரு 10 நாள் 20 சரியா இருக்கும். ஆனா புத்திர சோகோ வினஸ்தே, சந்தானம் காலமாயிட்டாங்கன்னா உயிர் இருக்கிற வரையிலும் அந்த கஷ்டம் இருந்தே இருக்கும். யாராலையும் தீர்க்க முடியாது, யாராலையும் எடுக்கவும் முடியாது. அதனால நீங்க 2 பேருக்கு நீங்க 2 பேர் தான் துணையா இருந்து நீங்க அதே மாதிரி பகவான் இடத்துல நீங்க தியானமா உட்கார்ந்து அந்த பகவத் பாதத்தை பாருங்க, நிச்சயமா உங்களுக்கு அந்த திருப்தி கிடைக்கும். ஏன்னா அந்த பாதத்துல தானே உட்கார்ந்துருக்காங்க, இந்த பாதத்தை நிச்சயம் பார்க்கலாமே. உங்க பொண்ணு மேல ஒரு பாதத்தால் பகவத் பாதத்தை பார்க்கலாம் இல்லையா? இந்த மாதிரி பகவத் பாதத்தில் உட்கார்ந்தே இருப்பாங்க. நீங்க இவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்படுறதுன்னா அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு கஷ்டமா இருக்கு இல்லையா? அவங்கள நீங்க தைரியமா பார்த்துக்கணுமே. அவங்க உங்களை பார்க்கறதுக்கு நீங்க தான் நீங்க இருக்க தைரியத்துல அவங்க இருக்காங்க. அதே மாதிரி நீங்க தைரியமா இருந்து யாரு எது எத்தனையோ சொல்லிட்டே இருப்பாங்க, அது காதோட விட்டுடுங்க. பொண்ணும் பத்தையும் மதிக்கணும்னா பகவத் பாதத்தை பாருங்க. 2 விதமா பொண்ணுக்கும் மோட்சம் கிடைக்கும், உங்களுக்கும் திருப்தி கிடைக்கும். அதே மாதிரி இருக்கணும். பகவத் பாதத்தில் நாங்கள் பிரார்த்தனை பண்ணிட்டு ஓம் சகனா பவது சகனோ புனக்து சக வீர்யங்கரவாவகை தேஜஸ்வினாவதீதமஸ்து மா வித்விஷாவகை. ஓம் சாந்தி சாந்தி சாந்தி. ஹரி ஓம் ஸ்வஸ்தி.
சிவபுராணம் ஒரு 10 நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க எல்லாரும் சொல்லுங்க. நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க இமைப்பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. ஓகழி ஆண்ட குருமணிகன் தாழ் வாழ்க. ஆகமம் ஆகி நின்று அன்னிப்பான் தாழ் வாழ்க. ஏகன் அநேகன் இறைவனடி வாழ்க. ஏகம் கெடுத்தாண்ட வேந்தனடி வெழுக. பிறப்பருக்கும் பிஞரந்தன் பேகழல்கள் வெல்க. புறத்தாக்குள் செய்யோந்தன் பூங்கழல்கள் வெல்க. கரங்குடிவார் உள்மகிழும் தோன்கழல்கள் வெல்க. சிறங்குடிவார் ஓங்குவிக்கும் சீரோன் கழல் வெல்க. ஈசனடி போற்றி எந்தயடி போற்றி தேசனடி போற்றி சிவன் நிவதனடி போற்றி மாய பிறப்பருக்கும் மன்னனடி போற்றி சீரார் பெருந்துரை தேவனடி போற்றி ஆராத இன்பம் அருளும் அவை போற்றி சிவன் அவன் என் சிந்தையுள் நின்றவனா அவனருளாலே அவன் தாழ் வணங்கி என்னாருடைய சிவனே போற்றி எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி ஏகம்பத்துரை எந்தாய் போற்றி பாகம் பெண்ணொரு ஆனாய் போற்றி காய்த்துறை மேவிய பரனே போற்றி சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி மற்றோ மத்தின் அரியன் போற்றி குத்தாக்கும் குத்தா போற்றி கோகலி மேவிய கோவே போற்றி ஈங்கோய் மலையன் எந்தாய் போற்றி வாங்கா பழனத்தலகா போற்றி கடம்பூர் மேவிய விடங்கா போற்றி அண்ணாமலையன் அண்ணா போற்றி கண்ணாரபுர கடலே போற்றி காவாய் கடகத்திரளே போற்றி கைலை மலையானே போற்றி சிவசிதம்பரம் சிவசிதம்பரம் சிவசிதம்பரம்.
Om Namah Shivaya. Everyone please chant. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya.